Economic and political developments. From ruin to resilience in the wake of the Korean War, South Korea was a nation shattered, its cities bombed, its economy virtually non-existent, and its people living in deep poverty. Yet within just a few decades, South Korea underwent one of the most remarkable transformations in modern history. This rapid economic and political rise, often referred to as the miracle on the Han River, was enabled by South Korea's resilience, strategic vision, and critically, its enduring alliance with the United States. The miracle on the Han River, from aid to autonomy, named after the Han River, which flows through Seoul. The miracle describes South Korea's dramatic transformation from a war-torn country in the 1950s to a leading global economy by the 1990s. U.S. contributions to South Korea's economic rise, while the Korean people were the main drivers of their own success. The U.S. played a foundational role in supporting this transformation through 1. Economic aid. Between the 1950s and 1970s, the U.S. provided billions of dollars in aid, including food assistance, especially during famines in the 1950s, infrastructure rebuilding, including roads, ports, and factories, financial support for government institutions, education, and healthcare. This aid helped stabilize the economy, laying the groundwork for long-term growth. 2. Technology and knowledge transfer. The U.S. facilitated access to advanced industrial technology and know-how, training programs for Korean engineers, managers, and policymakers. The growth of state-owned and private enterprises, especially in heavy industry, American institutions, from universities to corporations, contributed to modernizing South Korea's workforce and industrial base. 3. Market access and trade. The U.S. opened its markets to Korean exports, enabling rapid growth of key sectors like textiles, electronics, and automobiles. The rise of global conglomerates such as Samsung, Hyundai, and LG. Diversification of the Korean economy into global supply chains. As a result, South Korea transitioned from an aid recipient to a competitive export economy within a generation. Political transformation from authoritarianism to democracy alongside economic growth. South Korea experienced a complex political evolution. For much of the Cold War, South Korea was ruled by military-backed authoritarian regimes, often with tacit U.S. support in the name of anti-communism. However, South Korea's people fought hard for democracy, and the U.S., over time, aligned itself with these democratic aspirations. Key milestones. April Revolution 1960. A student-led uprising toppled the authoritarian First Republic. Gwangju Uprising 1980. Brutally suppressed by the military, it later became a symbol of the democratic movement. June Democratic Uprising 1987. Mass protests forced the government to hold direct presidential elections, beginning South Korea's modern democratic era. Throughout this political evolution, the U.S. played a dual role, at times supporting stability over democracy during the Cold War, later championing human rights and democratic reforms, especially from the late 1980s onward. Today, South Korea is a vibrant democracy and a key advocate of democratic values, globally a transformation strongly shaped by the alliance's evolution. Expansion beyond security. A comprehensive partnership. As South Korea stabilized and matured, the U.S.-ROC alliance evolved beyond its original security framework into a multifaceted partnership spanning economics, diplomacy, culture, and education. 1. Economic cooperation and trade. South Korea became a key U.S. trading partner and one of Asia's most advanced economies. In 2012, the U.S.-Korea Free Trade Agreement, Chorus FTA, was implemented, reducing tariffs and expanding bilateral trade. The U.S. is now South Korea's second-largest trading partner. While South Korea is one of America's top 10 export markets, despite occasional disputes over auto imports, steel tariffs, or digital trade, economic cooperation remains robust and mutually beneficial. 2. Political and diplomatic collaboration. Both countries closely coordinate on regional security, particularly regarding North Korea's nuclear program. South Korea contributes to global peacekeeping, climate action, and humanitarian efforts, often alongside the U.S. Regular high-level summits and 2+2 meetings, defense and foreign ministers, reinforce policy alignment. South Korea is no longer just a U.S. ally in Asia, it is a global diplomatic partner. 3. Cultural and educational exchange. Tens of thousands of Korean students study in the U.S. annually, fostering long-term connections. US institutions collaborate with South Korean universities on science, engineering, and research. Korean culture. from K-pop to Korean cinema, has found a massive audience in the US. While American pop culture remains hugely influential in Korea, these cultural exchanges have deepened mutual understanding and helped make the alliance popular at the societal level, not just among policymakers. A resilient alliance despite challenges like any long-term relationship. The US-South Korea alliance has experienced moments of tension, trade friction over market access and intellectual property rights, debates over defense cost-sharing, particularly during US administrations seeking to reduce overseas military expenditures, public protests in South Korea over specific US policies or troop-related incidents. Yet, each time, the alliance has proven remarkably durable, grounded in shared interests, mutual respect, and deep institutional ties. Final thoughts. The US-South Korea alliance was born in war, but it matured through peace, progress, and partnership. From the ruins of the 1950s to the global stage of the 21st century, the two nations have evolved into economic powerhouses, democratic allies, and cultural bridges. The miracle on the Han River is more than a story of economic development. It is a testament to what resilient alliances, paired with national resolve, can achieve. As South Korea continues to rise on the world stage, its bond with the United States remains a foundation for mutual growth, shared values, and lasting peace in a complex and changing world.